just a point of pastoral privilege. It's so good to be back. I've been away now three Sundays, and I have missed you all very much. And when the council asked me if I could assist more here at Christ the King as stated supply, I said with humility that I would give it a whirl, but that I really wasn't available until June because of a number of family events. So I thank you for your patience, and I've heard wonderful things about all the different guest preachers that you have had, and now I'm looking forward to a wonderful summer with all of you. And now may the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable unto you, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. I remember a back-to-school night years and years ago when one of my daughters was in second grade. My husband and I entered the classroom filled with delights for a 7-year-old, bulletin boards and math counters and early readers on the shelf, and the teacher was enthusiastic about the year ahead and assured us our children were all doing great. And then at the end of the presentation, she pointed to a clothesline above our heads to which were clipped not socks and shoes, but portraits. To our delight and surprise, we parents were then invited to stand up and push in our chairs and find ourselves in the gallery of moms and dads. Yes, our children had depicted us, and it was our task to figure out which one was us. Names were divulged only by taking the picture down and opening the flap. Now, I must confess, it took me a few visits up and down the clothesline to find myself. What I thought I looked like didn't seem to be among these headshots. So I got down to the last 3 or 4 that had blondish heads, but beyond that, I was pretty stumped. So the teacher let me know I was warm as I approached one of them. The tip-off began with the ears. I saw some earrings with bright blue stones, and I remembered that I had some that color. And then I saw the top part of the dress that this blonde mommy was wearing, and then I was sure. For there was this one dress in my closet with these little flowers that no matter where I needed to go, this daughter always wanted me to wear. It was clearly her favorite. And there I was, wearing it. The other prevailing feature was, oh my gosh, all the teeth. There must have been 35 on the top and 40 on the bottom. I've been told that I smile a lot, and I guess that was my daughter's vision as well, because I had this ear to earful. Blue earrings, flowered dress, and endless teeth is what my daughter saw when she imaged her mother. Completely accurate? No. But as far as my daughter was concerned, it was me. Now, at one level, my tale is just one of an exuberant young artist, but when it comes to God, why, we do the same thing. As it says in 1 John, no one has ever seen God. So what we end up doing is pasting together ideas and images to come up with a God of our understanding. This activity is as old as time itself, and it spans all faith traditions. One stroll through an ancient history museum will reveal the many, many ways God is depicted. The Egyptian god Sobek, for example, was pictured as a man with the head of a crocodile. The Hindu fire god Agni has 2 faces smeared with butter, 7 tongues, gold teeth, 7 arms, and 3 legs. The ancient Israelites, they didn't want to actually draw God for fear of creating a graven image, but symbols of God were abundant. A pillar of fire, a pillar of clouds, an eagle. Why, when it comes to Jesus, images abound. But it's funny how in Northern European churches, Jesus is a fair-skinned, long-haired male, while in churches in Hong Kong, he looks like a scholar from Asia. And in African American churches, he has dark skin, which, by the way, is probably the most historically accurate of the three. Doves, swirling lines to look like wind, are all also utilized to create images of the divine. Yes, we come up with images for God all the time, not just what God looks like, but we also make judgments as to what God acts like. And just like our visual portraits, God's actions or personality, if you will, comes straight out of our own experience. I'll give you an example. Martin Luther had a strict and at times tyrannical father. And guess what his relationship was with the Almighty God? One of fear, trembling, and dread of hell, until he rediscovered grace in the writings of Paul. People with healthy, intimate, earthly relationships often have an easier time of imagining a loving God in heaven than those who do not. What's more, we need to regularly check ourselves to assess the degree to which we create a God that acts just like we want, as if God were our kind of personal pet. Depending on what's going on in our lives, why God can be like Santa Claus, handing out gifts to expectant children, or like a best friend who would never do anything to hurt us. And interestingly enough, has the same enemies we do and comes to the same conclusions as we do regarding what's best for us. How could you not fall for a God like that? But problems arise with this mindset, don't they? Maybe things don't turn out like we thought they should, or maybe despite our most earnest desire, a loved one loses a battle to cancer too young. What kind of a friendly God would do that? And then the construct breaks down.